How's it going, rednecks? I'm sorry we're gonna have to record in the garage this morning, but we're having some weird weather. As you can see, we got snow with leaves, and technically there's leaves underneath that snow. Yeah, it went fall, winter, fall for us, so I got a little bit of yard work to do, but that's not what this video is about. This video is going to be about the yellow Oldsmobile. I'm going to be trying to get that thing going today, and that consists of putting the battery from the blue Olds, which is in storage. I got a new alternator for it, and we're going to have to figure out the coil pack. Somebody online told me that a 2000, or I think it was like 99 or something, I don't remember. I'll go over that in the video, but the newer ignition control modules will actually work in my old Oldsmobile. So we're going to get all this loaded up, and we're going to head over to my parents' house where it's sitting in the field right now with a flat tire. So we're going to have to get the tire inflated, get the alternator on, get the belt on, get the thing started, and get it loaded on the trailer. Reinforcements have arrived. Well, there we go, rednecks. We got the tire inflated, the battery in, and hopefully that thing makes it up to the house. It's pretty muddy back here, and not only that, I got the bad coil pack in there from the blue one, the only one that will start that car. And I guess here's the fleet out here. We got my yellow Olds, we got my disaster transport. That is actually my first truck I ever got. I got that back when I was 15 for $62. So, and then I got Pontiac 6000 all-wheel drive. That's a 1990. Don't know what I'm going to do with it, but just had to have it. Alright, rednecks, we got the Oldsmobile on the trailer, and now we're going to head to Shop Peon and get the steering and suspension all sorted out, get the alternator put on, and make sure this thing's good for the road. Well, there we go, rednecks. We got the Oldsmobile inside. We're going to let the snow melt off of it a little bit, and then we'll start under the hood. We'll get the alternator on and the belt. And this is kind of cool. We get an opportunity right now. This is a, like, I don't know what generation it is, but right here is the next generation. Now, this is Tyler's car, and it's kind of cool to have them parked in here side by side, or kind of like back to back like this. And look at the real difference between the generation change, because that one obviously is a 86, and this is a, I believe it's a 92. So, and then after 94, they got rid of the side skirts, or 94, 95, I can't remember, but still, it's pretty cool to have them both in here side by side like that and check them out. Well, there you go, guys. We had to do the hood struts on this, and I made my buddy there, Lance. I don't know if you met him. We did the Gobbler 500 together, and yeah, I made him put them on. Way easier that way. And funny thing about it, if you look, these can only go on one way. There's a small tab up here and a big one down here. You can't really see it. You're gonna have to take my word for it. But if you look at the orientation, you got your cylinder, and then you got your rod coming out. If you come over to this side, it's backwards. You got your cylinder and your rod. So both the part numbers are exactly the same, but they're built opposite of each other. So that threw us off a little bit, but we're gonna get that alternator in now because I wanna see this thing run, see we got 14 volts, how it runs. That ignition control module is technically bad, and it was out of the blue Oldsmobile, and it's been running fine. So I'm curious what's gonna happen when we put 14.6 volts to it. So yeah, let's get our new alternator installed in the Oldsmobile. Rednecks, we are making 14.3 volts. I'm happy with that. We let this thing run for quite a while. And the odd thing is, that ignition control module, which last year when I parked this thing, wasn't working correctly, is all of a sudden working fine. So I'm half reluctant to just leave it alone and not mess and put on the other ignition control module. Right there it is. And I don't know. I gotta think about it. I don't know if I want to mess with it. I mean, if it's working, let it go. But at the same time, I'm kind of curious and I want to know, will the other ignition control module from a newer model work? So before I do that, I guess I'm going to get the suspension set. The front is actually good still. It just looks like the back's tipped in. So all I'm going to have to do is work on the back. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to think about this right here and see if I even want to fuss with it. I will at least go over the wiring and let you know in theory that it should work. And we'll see. Maybe I'll just get ballsy and I'll just say screw it and throw the other one on there and see what happens. We'll see. I'd really like to have an answer for it, and I'd like to answer it for you guys that are wondering, because I know a few people have contacted me about ignition control modules and information and stuff that's been going on with their cars. So it would be kind of cool to relay that information to you guys as well. But yeah, without further ado, I'm going to get to work on that rear suspension, and yeah, we'll get back to you on that. Well, there you go, Rednecks. It wasn't all that difficult. Just had, like I said, just had to do the two rear ones. I got those set now to 90 degrees from when you jack it up. I had them at 87 degrees, so that comes out to 3 degrees inwards. They move when you move the suspension down, because the lower control arm on an angle is 87, but once it's square and flat, your tire tips back straight. So I want to take a look at those ignition control modules now, and I will get back to you on my findings. All right, Rednecks, with the peon's help, we went through. I had an owner's manual for mine and he had one for his, and we went through and looked at all of the wiring for our cars, and what we found is mine is specific to 86, 87, and then the 88 to 93 is this style right here, which will work with the newer style, which is 94 to 05. The only difference being is your coil pack changes. This has the traditional, or I guess the more common 3 packs versus a single pack that you have to change all at once. Now the interesting thing is these from the 94 to 05 will plug into the 8687. We're not sure if they work universal. I would bet money these will work with either one. And as far as plugins go, I'm going to try and get some lighting on this. You can see, I will put them side by side. You can see the plugins here are different too. There is no way you will be able to plug this style, the newer style, into the older style. So you would have to, if you wanted to actually try this for yourself, you would have to deprong whichever one you're going to do and then reprong it, and even then we're not sure it's going to work because this one seems to share a power with both Hall effects switches, which is your cam and crank sensor, and this one has an individual wire for each one. So with that being said, it's unfortunate because those ignition control modules are expensive, and obviously you can find the newer ones everywhere at like junkyards, pick and pull lots, and yeah, I'm pretty sick of buying them. For some reason, the one in the yellow one right now, even though it was bad not that long ago, is working fine. So I'm going to keep running it, and I'm going to keep crossing my fingers and hoping it keeps working. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and get back to work. Shadows across it. Oh, it's turning.